It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Titans and the Ravens, and it comes your way next.
They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the inner harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Tennessee Titans. Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
Here's Randy Bullock now to put toe to leather. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson on first down. And incomplete to open things up.
I like his awareness in the pocket there. Nowhere to go with the football. So instead of forcing it to the sideline, he's just going to put this one into the harbor and live to fight another down without getting wet.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Jackson now. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Jackson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
Let's go.
Here comes the Tennessee offense, and you see Ryan Tannehill leading them out.
So this is what we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside, everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
He gets away from one. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Derrick Henry. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. Shoves him away. Oh, he bowls over him. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy.
Oh, yeah! We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Running left, it's Henry. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. They run with Henry on 1st down, but nothing much materializing as he'll get forward only for about a yard.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Tannehill's throw into the hands of Ferkser here. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 44-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now a handoff to Henry. And he's taken down inside the 30. 48 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
On first down, Tannehill. On the slant, he'll get it to Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. No score after one on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On second down, here's Henry. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Tannehill now to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Here's Bullock now for the Titan field goal. Bullock's kick is good. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Here's Jackson to throw. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Titan football. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Second and 5. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads. I mean, you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit. He is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. When he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch, looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
First down marker at the 31. It's third down. Tannehill. This will go to Henry out wide. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. They'll run for it with Henry. And a nice stiff arm. It opens room to run. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Here we go. Let's get him.
Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the C's opened up for him.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Patrick Queen came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now Tannehill. That'll be caught by Brown. Touchdown, Tennessee. A.J. Brown there to make the grab. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it ends with a Tennessee score. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 6. No, scratch that. Second and 7. Now it's Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for third down. Throwing is Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
A check down here for Henry. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Again, Tannehill. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Titans in that first half. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25. The Titans getting set to go here to begin the 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 123 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground, and here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
Now it's Tannehill. He's got his tight end over the middle. That's Ferkser. A gain of 6 there on first. Four yards remain for second down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Complete. It's Henry. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Tannehill. Touchdown! It's complete. Ryan Tannehill able to spot Julio Jones for the touchdown there. And the Titans take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
And this is what coaches talk about, never being satisfied. No matter what the lead, always trying to increase it. You never know what can happen in this NFL.
Here's Bullock now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. On the return is Duvernay. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Come on, fellas. You got to do better than that.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They're down 17-0, really needing to find that offensive spark on this drive as they have it with a 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. And this is caught by Watkins. 7 yards the pickup there. Second down and 3. Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Second and 7. Play action. Now Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, Running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? To be able to get him in the second round, that's what I call a steal.
They'll run with Dobbins. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run the toss here. Edwards. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Let's get him. Come on.
6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Tucker's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Like a freight train off the edge, Calais Campbell with a sack. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. It's the Titans. They've got the football. They'll be looking to extend their lead here as we begin the 4th quarter. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Complete to Jones. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I would think as a play caller, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
Jackson. Flush to his right, and he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Hey, Alpha, ready? Hey, Ozzy, sit up. Middle. Sit up.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he will finally be taken down at the Titans' 36-yard line. A big gain there on 3rd and long. What a run there. I mean, you got speed, elusiveness, escapability all rolled into one.
And we all know that quarterbacks are coached. They get the ball to the guys who can do all the things you just described. You want those guys who have speed, elusiveness, and escapability all rolled into one with the ball in their hands. And guess what? It's him. So there's no sense in throwing it or handing it off when you can do all of that yourself.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Steps away to his left. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch good for only a couple. Jackson trying to hustle his unit up quickly to the line of scrimmage. Jackson to throw. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Here's Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Tucker with the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Time definitely of the essence now, just under a minute to play, and here we go. And the Titans are going to come up with it. And that should just about do it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Second and 6. Again, it's Henry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. The Titans go victory formation as they take a knee. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. The Titans go victory formation down to a knee. And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on third. Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.